I came aboard in San Diego, California, May 31st, 1965. From San Diego, California, and we trained at sea off the coast of San Diego, about San Clemente Island. That's about 80 miles off the coast of California. We had trained with the Marine. That's what the ship was for. And with tanks and all that, and then Sacramento Island, it was in June 65. July 65, around by the 4th of July, we're in Santa Barbara, California. You heard of Santa Barbara, California? That was just open house for tourists. People, if they want to come on the ship, we had to take them and show them all the way around, all through the ship. And that was Santa Barbara. That was sea training at sea. Then we had to go to Corner Island to shoot, train, shoot guns and all that. And they also had flying aircraft, have an aircraft, like a dummy aircraft, and we had to shoot it. I had to learn all that seaman, just regular Navy gunfire. When then aboard this same ship, it was a riot broke out in Los Angeles called Watts Riot. It broke out, I'll tell you the day it was. It was August 11th, 1965. I'm not sure how many days it lasted, but when that riot broke out, we was ready for deployment. Remember a Westpac, the abbreviation WS PAC, PAC. That means Western Pacific Ocean Deployment. Well, we just in the Navy, we said Westpac crew. He going on Westpac. So we left San Diego with Marines on LST. Now you know where LST is. We went nonstop from San Diego to Okinawa, 6,000 miles. And we let the Marines off in Okinawa, which was like about September, or maybe mid-September, because it took about 30 days to get across the Pacific Ocean. That slow ship didn't go by 11 knots. Rough riding ship. But when we transported Marines off in Okinawa, because they had to train for Vietnam. I haven't been to Vietnam yet. This for my Vietnam. But I was overseas, wasn't too far from it. Then we went Okinawa, Naha, Okinawa to Sasebo, Japan. This should have took us 24 hours to get from Okinawa to Sasebo, Japan. That was 24 hours at the max. And it took us 6 days. And that time there, I'll be honest with you, that's when I really experienced rough seas in my life. Yeah, because we didn't go towards Sasebo. We went south towards the Philippines because we had to let the hurricane, all ships got away. And then we had to turn around and head back to Japan, pass Okinawa, and it was a rough sea. When the bow go up, come down, you look at it, look like you're going right in, then you go up looking at the sky. So it went on like about 4 days, rough like that. And then after that, the ocean got so pretty and blue. That's all I can explain to you, like it was heaven. And coming into Japan, you got lots of islands. Kind of remind me of here a little bit, but you got mountain-like islands sticking up. They just a bunch of them before you get to mainland. It looks so beautiful. You see lots of Japanese out there fishing, And finally, we got to Sasebo, 65. And we was in Sasebo like about, I'm not for sure, was it 10 days or what? Then we left Sasebo and went to Hawaii. See? But this time, coming back to San Diego, we stopped in Hawaii first time. Yeah, it was so beautiful. And that was the first trip. Leaving Hawaii, heading back to San Diego, that was took like about 9 days from Hawaii because it's a slow ship. I had to stand fantail watch. If you don't know what that means, fantail watch means the back of the ship, the stern. With your phone, you have to see the weight. They call it man overboard watch. In case somebody fall in, I will see it. They'll have to do that. And then lookout watch. That's up on the bridge, up on the top of the mast, where you can see in your report. Now, I did to learn the ship how to do the helmet. I had to learn the lee helmet. And when we finally got back to San Diego, November 65, I know we saw how pretty California looked coming in because it was fall then. So it was summer when we left, August. So 3 months later, we're back. It looked so pretty looking at the mountains, man. It wasn't no clouds. It was just pretty. Had snow on the mountain. I mean, it was beautiful. And we finally came into San Diego. There was a song called Rescue Me by Fortuna Bear. She really left a mark on me because they played on the ship radio coming back when you stand and watch. But on the Pacific Ocean, it looked like that's all the world. It was just water, 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 water. You know, you don't see no land. We came to Hawaii, but in Hawaii, we was there like about 3 days. We went to Pearl Harbor, look around, Hotel Street, that's downtown Honolulu. That's all we had time to do much, because we had to do that too. Then went down Waikiki Beach and had fun. At that time, I could drink it. I was just 18, but I still could drink there. And Hawaii could. I fell in love with it there. And then right from San Diego, got back. Then the news came saying we going to Vietnam. There was rumors going around the ship. You like the rumors? Like, let's say we're going, you know what I mean? It wasn't official, but it passed down. I was hearing from 2 men sailors on the ship, you know. And I said, oh no. I was I was scared. And I know that's war. But get to the point, they gave us leave, you know, like I got 10 days leave. You know, they're trying to get it before Christmas. After I went home, and I told my parents now and my siblings, hey, this month we're getting ready to go to Vietnam. Cause I know for sure we was going before I got off the ship. It was the rumors going around like a couple of days, and then they finally told we got to take some Marines to Vietnam. We got to take some Marines to Okinawa first, and then pick up some Marines at Okinawa and take them to Vietnam. Since I was in the deck force, I could see more, you know, like on the bridge and stuff like that, match, you can see the whole ocean good. And, yeah, I was scared. When we left San Diego, I can tell you that date, that was January 14th, Friday, 1966. That's when we actually left for Vietnam. So, at the same route, this time we stopped in Hawaii, going the same way we went before. Stopped in Hawaii, but this time they gave us a couple of days there. And then from Hawaii straight to Okinawa. Again, same thing, but this time we stopped in Hawaii. Then Okinawa, drop the Marines off and pick up some other Marines. Then we went to Japan again like a day or two. And then from there we steamed straight to Chu Lai. Chulai. Chu Lai, Vietnam. That's more than the northern part side of Vietnam. But off the coast of Vietnam, before you even see land, you can hear shells exploding. Then finally the mountains started coming in. I said, oh God, this is real. Yeah, I'm never scared. After we beat some Marines in Chu Lai, we stayed in Vietnam like about 8 days. That's the first time. It was comeback duty, because it was comeback pay. Then we left there and didn't get shot, but we was on the GQ. Not like here, you know, General Quarter, GQ mean General Quarter, mean all hands at your battle station. And there was other ships too. I can't remember the other ships that come. Then we left there for Philippines. They want us to go there for upkeep. That first time I've been to Philippines. Subi Bay. And Subi Bay, it was one of the sailors aboard my ship. He was a close friend. You know, we got attached in Japan. I met him in Japan. He showed me Cupid Point Naval Air Station all over the Philippines because he was stationed there before. So he know everywhere to go. We went down a Longa Pole. I know you probably heard of Longa Pole. It's outside Subi Bay. And you know, it's wild over there, as you already know. Same with Japan, but fast. That's all I can say. Real fast. It's not boring. That's all I can say. But get to the point of from the Philippines, I had a little issue with some sailors off of aircraft carrier. They was drunk. They made racist slurs at me and some other guys, like I had some Caucasian sailors that was close to them. They called them the N-word lover because they were walking with me. And they throw rocks at him. Some hit me and we took them, throw back. I'm talking about, And then that's when the shore patrol broke us because it was just two people that was all, try to mess it up, Down for that one, no. Then back to the ship, I told my commander off about it, but we didn't make a big allegation, just told him, So then we left Philippines, went to Vietnam again. So this time we went to Danang, Vietnam. All right, when we had to stand guard, we was there like about, I'm not sure, it was 10 days. I don't know exactly the day, but it was a pretty good while. Not getting inside, but we were still in the combat zone, ready for it. But we heard shells going, of course. Yeah, constant. But then that hit right where we was at. From the name was stopping Queen Knot. We had to pick up tanks from the army and trucks and stuff like that. And plus we had to get food from there to Cameron Bay, Vietnam. There was a Navy base they were building, wasn't built like, wow, it was in 66 too. Now, which I was say what would be like by March, maybe, early April. I would say April. Then from Queen Nam, Vietnam, I said Cameron Bay, Vietnam, same thing, and round down the coast to the Van Tao. You're still in South China. See, that's for the South. And then we got orders to go up the Saigon River. At that time, I didn't see what we call river patrol boats. Then they said it was just getting there at the time we was getting there, but I didn't see none. It was just army most of the time. And then we had to transport army tanks up to Saigon. That's about 40 miles up the Saigon River. We was at GQ all the way up there. Didn't get shot. Thank God. Nobody want to get killed. We know they could. Hell happened. We just didn't get up. Then we got Saigon was there about a few days, ran out of water. Then a merchant ship right next to it gave us some of their water. And then after we got there, get to the point, and we left Saigon about 44 miles down the treacherous river, back to the South China Sea, where Van Tao at. Then we got orders to go up the Mekong River, same one. We had to take tanks and supplies up to Mito, and then all the way up toward the Cambodia, where the river was, and cut through the canal and then come back to Bend to it. At that time, wasn't a base there then. It was just nothing. We were letting stuff there, the other ship letting, supplies and goods. Then we went down Canton. That's the town. I got in trouble. I messed up because I overstayed my welcome. I didn't get, so I got roared for that. And got reduced from E3 to E1. Yeah. And then after I left Canton, and then that's when I got transferred off the ship. It was May 1st, Sunday, 1966. So I was on exactly 11 months on one day. And then they had to hold me over, to see what they're going to do with me. And they punished me. And I thought, well, it's something the Philippines do some time. Another guy of mine, his name was Donald Jones. So we both did some time and went back to the ship, not the same ship they put us on, another LST. I did. He went somewhere else. I don't know where he went. I haven't saw him since that day. So I got signed to USS Stone County. STONE. So still LST. Same kind of work. Well, on the Stone County, they flew me from the Philippines back to Danang. This time I was at the Navy Transit Center for about 10 days there. The Navy was building up this, and the Marine was there. They were actually at the same base. They were just up a little further. We didn't get attacked, but you hear a gunshot. I had to stand my duty. They did drop some rockets, hit the air base not too far from them. They were most at them more than they was directly us right there. Because they were really trying to knock the aircraft out. And so, at the name, I was there waiting on my ship, the new ship. That's why they sent me back so I could wait for that. The USS Stone County came in, I reported aboard. When I came aboard the USS Stone County, it was September 6th, 1966. From there we left, and we was making shuttle runs back between Okinawa and Chu Lai and Danang. Back and forth. It was like transporting Marines, and remember Vietnam was building up there. And then, after that, the executive officer said we're going to be going back to the United States because I haven't been here almost a year now. So, and plus I was on 2 ships, and plus time in the Philippines confined. And then, when we left Japan, I was Sasebo, Japan, to get to where I'm at now. That's when I got my orders when we was getting ready to leave Sasebo, Japan. We probably were no more than about a day out sea heading to Hawaii, but on another ship, right, USS Stone County. And about a day off the coast of Japan, that's when my executive called and said, I know it said, on a big call, report to the ship executive officer. I said, what did I do this time? And then I know I didn't do nothing but training people. I got my rank back. They gave that back to me. Look, man. So it put me back where I was before I got in trouble. Because I made it all up, And then he told me he read out. He was just like you sitting up in the chair now here. So I'm not Hal Ruckers. Orders from Navy Amphibious Base, Corner out of California. He said, you're going to be getting transferred off the ship. He reading out to me when we get to Hawaii. And you're going to be going to River Squadron 5. River Squadron 5. And when you get there, you got to do, he was reading out, you see, you might do 4 weeks of SEAL training. If you don't know what SEAL means, SERE, SEAL. I don't quite sure you can figure out what that means. That means survival, evasion, resistance, escape. It's a training course. It's tough. 4 weeks. You'll be doing that in Coronado. And after that, you're going to be transferred to a river patrol boat that's there in Mare Island, Vallejo, California, for 5 weeks of river training. And you're going to learn everything about the PBR, everything. Right. 5 weeks, it was rough too, learning everything, and then plus training on the water, because it was just 4 men per boat. After complete that, graduate, got a certificate in SEAL training at Corner Island, and then came up in the Bay Area and got a certificate from completing the river patrol boat. Then they flew us from Travis Air Force Base to the Philippines. I was the only one in the group that had been overseas twice. All the rest of the sailors, they never been in the United States. So Vietnam wasn't strange to me, because I already been there. I've been there, I was said 3 times. It was brief, but I was there. And the records show that. And so the guys followed me because I know where I was going, the Philippines. I know where I was going. We got to Saigon. I know all that area there. So they followed me. When I got to Saigon, they split up. And they said River Sector 511, that's where it was. 1 year here. On River Sector 511, got in that too. I was in 25 firefights. It'll take a book, 3 or 4 books to explain all that. So I'm getting you brief. 25 firefights. We lost lots of sailors. I saw a lot of death from Vietnamese, the enemy, the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese. I saw lots of them die. And on the other hand, I saw lots of Vietnamese on our side, or we on their side die. So I saw death. First time I saw somebody get killed was in Vietnam. That was my boat commander, guy over me. William Potter. We was talking about him just a while ago. So one of the guys remember him. I said, yeah, I remember him. I said, yeah, he was 26 when he got killed. I was 20. And Dean Nelson, he got killed. I mean, I went through class with him. And Michael Quinn, he got killed. But he was on no patrol, but we went through class together. He was the first one out of my Rivers class that got killed. That we got there the same day. He got caught 4 rounds, across the chest. It was May the 24th, 1967. And then, like I said, I was in 25 high-step firefights, and I made 220 patrols. Ali Demro, I got his name at home too. He got killed. He did a year in Vietnam. Went home, leave 30 days free. Because if you stand, you can come back and they give you 30 days and go in the war. He came back to Vietnam and got killed. He wasn't even there 2 weeks. That's what made me say, if I get out of this hell, I'm not coming back here no more. Happened. So that right there was a tragedy when they ambushed us from both banks. And they killed, they tore us up. That's all I said. We lost. And it was 10 boats, not only from our river section, but from other river sections. They came in and gave us help. And then we had aircraft. We don't know that we heard about or not from doing that. Because when they put a claymore on and blow up, you can't see those people. They behind trees. They see us. They could have took us out anytime they want to. We was talking about this morning. Tet Offensive started on January 31st, 1968. That's when they launched a mass attack against Americans. Full-blown river suicide. I mean, they came full-blown, attacking everything they could, and we started stopping. We did stop them. They lost their lives trying to take us out. They got took out. That was the Vietnamese Tet. That started January 31st. At that time, I didn't have but 27 days left in Vietnam. See, I left February 27, 1968, back for the United States. So that was the last time I was on that part of the world. And the flight back, make a long story short, we had to catch military hops called the Continental Airlines. That was a flight that was scheduled 3 months before we already know our flight on which one, but all that was canceled. All commercial flight was canceled going in and out of Vietnam. Only plane coming in down was just military plane. So that's how we had to catch it. Since military hop means just that. It means you hop and you stand by to catch a ride. You know what I mean? And they can just take so many people because their job not to take people, to take cargo and stuff like that. And then you got maybe 10 people they can get on their call, so many people, maybe 5 for this, that 5, like that 6 here, like that. And then 5, my name got called 2 days later. And while I was staying, it was Indianapolis Hotel. Just like Indianapolis, Indiana, spelled the same way. But it was a hotel in Saigon. That's why all the sailors stayed there, was getting processed out of Vietnam. Or coming in, they process you there. That's what, it's just temporary. Just, you might be there 2 days. Well, this the last time I was there 4 days. Because they couldn't get no plane. We had to go to air base every day to hope your name be called, and find my name got called. It was 3:30 Wednesday, February 27th. It was 90, probably about 91, 92 degrees. It was February 27th. Remember, that's tropical. It took us 3.5 hours to get from Saigon to Naha, Okinawa. Cadenas Air Force Base, that's the name of it. So it was 40 degrees when we got there. Just 90 to 40 inches, about 3.5 hours. And same plane, we didn't have but maybe about 40 minutes layover in Okinawa. It was military. So we left Okinawa, same plane, took us about 8 hours to get from there to Alaska, Fairbanks, not Anchorage, Fairbanks. When we got there, it wasn't no sunlight. It was like about 11 o'clock daytime, and Alaska time, but it was dark, cold, bitter cold. And we stayed there in the morning like by an hour. It was that long. And then we flew from there, same plane, to Dover Air Force Base, Dover, Delaware. When we got there, then we had to get off comeback fatigue. Because they couldn't put a uniform, dress blue, because it was on the commercial airline, we had to put that on. But since it was comeback, we just kept our same stuff on, the same thing we had on the riverboat. And then we got to Dover Air Force Base, then we had to get into our dress blues. Then there was four to five sailors, and they took us from Dover Air Force Base, 76 miles to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that's when we had to stay at the airport all night, because it was different then. And then next morning, I have a flight from there to, Atlanta, Georgia. And had change planes and catch one from there to Dallas, Texas. Then they have Dallas Fort Worth Airport. And now you can get nonstop from Philadelphia. Now you can, but back then, it was completely different. See? And then if I came home, I was on home for about 30 days, which that's going to explain that. That's what the Navy gives, 30 days. Your 30 days don't start until the date you get into the continental United States, not Alaska, not Hawaii. That's the United States, but that's not continental. So it had to be like one of the 48s, lower 48. That's when your 30 days start. Then left Delaware, came home, visited. It was sad, but I was happy, but still sad. That's going to explain it. Real sad for me. It seemed like I was leaving all my real friends back in Vietnam, because I was still hearing from them. One of the guys, Sherman, when I left, he got shot in the foot. They got, I remember exactly where that canal at. I know the river just like I know my backyard. I was there a year. Know the whole river, all the way from Cambodian border to the South China Sea. And I was home for 30 days. And at that time, it was so much stuff. And King got killed. My grandmother had a stroke. She died. My grandfather had something wrong with his lung. He died. When I left for Fort Worth, Dallas there, now I reported to the Long Beach, Long Beach, California, to USS Cabrillo. And that was it. Vietnam. That's Vietnam, not the Navy now. I still had a long way to go in the Navy, but that was the last time I was in Vietnam. I didn't get off active duty until April 25th, 1969. That's 3 years, about 2 more years later? But I didn't go back to Vietnam then. And I was on 3 different, but then I went in the Navy Reserve for 2 years. So, but when I got back, I was on Long Beach, California, USS Cabrillo, LSD 16. Then they transferred me down to San Diego. I got on USS Cook, APD 130. I got transferred off that to USS Estes, LCC 12. That was a flagship. Now I got off active duty. But I stayed in the active reserve for 2 more years. I had to go on training, 2-week sea training once a year. And I had to go meeting once a week. Or I could choose to go meeting once a year, but we had to be weekend then. But I didn't do that. I just said I didn't have nothing else doing this. When I got off work, I just went on climb and went to the reserve meeting for 3 hours. I did that for 2 years. And finally I got my discharge. I didn't go around telling everybody I was in Vietnam. That was kind of like you kind of keep it low, because you get persecuted by Americans, some Americans, because at that time Vietnam War protests was going on. And sometimes you can't get persecuted. So, yes, that's going to be with me all my life. Kind of glad I went through it, because to me, I had to look at the positive side. It was education to me. When I look back now, it was survival. I know things I didn't know. I had a chance to meet different people, different cultures. And in fact, I like Vietnam. Vietnam's a beautiful country, and lots of good people there. It was just the enemy we were just fighting. Their enemy. That's what we were doing. But for the overall Vietnamese people, I love them. Yeah, it was cool. Mm-hmm. They treated us good. I had to give them credit. But I saw lots of death. Lots. I don't. That's why I regret that. But that was Vietnam War. That's why I regret. I wish I wouldn't have saw it, but it's too late to say that. But I know what it's like when I saw somebody get killed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have bad dreams practically every night. Be honest with you, flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, intrusive memories, and a problem with authority figures. There's not too many veterans don't. That's not me. I'm just speaking for always. Most of basic always have that issue.